The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 25, the milestone issue that we all been waiting for. Yeah, maybe. Why couldn't it have been like issue number 825? Can anyone tell me what number that would have really been if we kept the original numbering? The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 25 is here, fans and guys. Welcome back to Comic Frontline. You're back with me, Mike Spider-Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And we get this badass cover of Norman Osborn shooting Spider-Man. And you're like, shit, Norman Osborn, he's back. There's going to be this epic battle. It's a huge-ass issue, right? Well, let's find out. And this issue, we get the continued writing of Dan Slott. The new artist on the series is, oh my god, I'm just drawing a blank. Stuart Immonen. I don't know how I forgot that because I can never say the guy's name. When you look through the actual artwork, I thought that the artwork was pretty good. Especially the scenes where you have Bobby and Spider-Man in there. And then at other times, the artwork felt like it was a little bit like too sketchy, like the inking wasn't complete or something. And then we have Kingpin in here who's just this head with no detailed suit. It's just weird. But I thought overall, again, the artwork was pretty interesting. And in this book, there's a character that makes their return. And from this image right here, when I first saw this image, I knew exactly who this person was. And I can tell you why. Because of this headband right here. I had a feeling on who it was. Now, just to let you guys know, I will be giving spoilers. So if you guys have not read your issue of The Amazing Spider-Man number 25, please read it, then come back and watch this video. But as you can see, these action scenes, like I said, were really well done. And there was just some, I don't know, I felt that there was inking issues on certain cases. But overall, great artwork. So, what was the story about in this huge monumental issue? Well, first off, there was an oversized issue, probably equals about an annual, that has to do with the setup of this particular story. Then there was a few backup stories, and then there was one last story at the end of the book that tells you what's going on with Dr. Octopus. So let's talk about the first story. In this first story, we wound up seeing the continuation of right after the Clone Saga in this issue. We see Bobby and Spidey teaming up, and we wind up finding out that they got this intel from the Kingpin, finding out where Norman Osborn was. And so, as they're chasing him, they find out that they wind up going after kind of the wrong guy. And Norman's been in hiding for a long time now. He wears different faces. He has all these different masks. He has someone working for him to change his appearance all the time. And at the meantime, we have this mysterious woman that's in stealth mode that's been following Peter and Bobby this whole entire time. Again, when you see this picture right here, you can kind of figure out who it actually is. So, as we find out that they go after this bad guy, it's not really Norman Osborn. But the lead up to it was very funny. It was a real hysterical as they're trying to escape the place from blowing up. In the meantime, yes, you wind up seeing that you come across the real Norman Osborn, but you don't see his face. Again, he goes through all these miscellaneous changes and whatnot as he sees a different doctor, and to whenever he wants to change his identity. Peter's still going through the effects of the clone conspiracy, telling the readers, obviously, what he's went through in case you haven't read that story at this point, and how he almost brought back Uncle Ben. We get to see really good character moments in this issue as well when it comes to the supporting cast. We see Betty back, we see Harry back, we see May going through the aftermath of J. Jonah Sr. actually passed away and how she's dealing with that. And then we also get to see a moment here where we think there could be an actual romance blossoming between Bobby and Peter. And he sits there and he goes, hey, Bobby, you know, with our lives, did you ever think about maybe you and me? And then the next thing you wind up seeing is a real funny moment between Harry and Aunt May, which I thought was hysterical in this book when you read it. And it was some really good family and character moments in there that made this book pretty good. Now, when you got to the point of them trying to go find Norman Osborn in Hong Kong, that's when the book kind of dropped off for me. It just seemed at this point the book was really too long, and I was saying to myself at this point, come on, let's get to the point. We already saw this chase in the first 10 pages of the book. Now we're kind of repeating the whole thing going forward here. And also, Spider-Man makes this weird comment about Asians, which I didn't really appreciate. I don't know why they really threw that in here. But as the issue progresses, we wind up seeing actual Norman Osborn in this in his new costume or new face or whatnot. And we wind up seeing that there was a shot to be fired. And we wind up seeing that Spider-Man takes out the lady that's in stealth mode. And we find out that she reveals herself. And it is what I thought, the Silver Sable, as she has made her return in the pages of The Amazing Spider-Man. And like it was said, is how can she be there? She's possibly, you thought she was dead because she died a while ago. So was she one of these clones that were brought back after the fact? I don't know. So we'll find out, I'm sure, in the story. If you continue to read the issue, you wind up seeing that there's a whole bunch of backup stories. They don't really mean anything until the very, very last page or very, very last story in the book. And it has to deal with Otto Octavius and where he went after he escaped and with his new body. And this is kind of the last hurrah for Giuseppe Comicoli, as he did the artwork in this particular book, and Dan Slott did the writing on this particular book as well. And what this particular story had to deal with was a lead-in to Secret Empire and Octavius's role in that Secret Empire going forward. So you wind up getting to see him in his new prototype body that he designed with the Jackal, Miles Warren. And we wind up seeing he goes into his secret underlayer base. And he winds up going into his underlayer, his secret lair, and we wind up seeing that as being overrun by Hail Hydra agents. And really, it was actually a setup because they are aware of what's going on with Dr. Otto Octavius and whatnot. And he comes across, what's his name? Arnim Zola. So he winds up coming across him, and he makes him an offer about joining Hydra and leading his own team. And there were some funny moments in this story, especially when he sits there and he goes, my octopus sense is tingling. I thought that was kind of funny. And, he sits there and, of course, and says, the die is cast. And he has a body that's a hybrid between Parker and himself. And, of course, it's much younger. And then he dons a new costume, and he calls himself the Superior Octopus. And he has this Hail Hydra Dr. Octopus costume now, which I thought was pretty cool. I had a smile on my face going, oh my God, that's hilarious. And I thought it was pretty cool because, he's like part spider, part octopus, he's part, he's young, he's a clone, whatever you want to call it. But I thought it was kind of cool. So, what did I think about this overall issue in the end? I thought this was a good issue. I just thought it was a little drawn out. For $10, it was, I don't think you need to go that far with any type of comic book. I just thought it was drawn out. I think if you did one chase and you make a quick trip to Hong Kong and then you wind up finding, Silver Sable at the end, I think that would have been fine. You didn't need the extra huge chase at the end. I thought there was good character moments. I thought the drawing, the artwork was pretty good. I just thought the inking was off in it and it was a little sketchy at times. And all the other little side stories, they really didn't have any meaning. There was one good one there with that dog named Sandwich. and then the Otto Octavius story, the clone out to get the lead into Secret Empire. So all in all, I gotta give this one a 3.75 out of 5 stars. I wanted to see more Norman Osborn in this book, especially the length that it was. I was just expecting something a little bit more. It was cool cliffhanger, but again, it just lacked a little bit for me. But still a good story, and I think I liked the Otto Octavius story the best out of them all. So there you have it, guys. Sorry for the lengthy review, but it is a lengthy book, and I just wanted to get my opinions crossed from it. So, guys, in the comments below, tell me what you thought of the Amazing Spider-Man Milestone issue number 25. And fans, until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye.